Okay, today we are going to talk about one of the platforms that myself and many collectors use to buy and sell cards, which is called COMC or COMC, which stands for Check Out My Cards. You can go to their website, very simply, comc.com, and you will be able to sign up there for free and get an account going, which will give you the ability to do some of the things that we're talking about today on this video. It's a great platform to do quick transactions, and it makes life a lot easier than constantly running back and forth to the post office and dealing with eBay and all of the kind of pain points that eBay has. COMC is very intuitive in the sense of you can buy a card and transact it instantly and it goes into your account right away. So you take ownership of it virtually, I guess you would say. You don't have the physical card because COMC holds all of the cards in their central warehouse, which is actually located about 15 minutes from me, which is kind of cool. So basically, think of it just like you're, kind of trading cards virtually, but at any time you can get your card shipped to you. So there isn't, it's not like you're doing the weird, blockchain trading or anything like that, because they are real cards. They're just not in your possession, if that makes sense. So anyways, you'll see here, this is the dashboard, which is kind of where you will do most of your work as you use COMC, more or less. So once you log in, you create a account, you will then be able to access your dashboard. So my dashboard's got a little bit of things going on right now because I have been using COMC for a few months. It's definitely been a kind of a slow rollout because they do take a little while to process your cards and get them into the database. And the reason why is because they actually have to scan every single card in. Then they have to make sure they get the right card information and they put it in there, and then you have to then go in and add pricing to all of your cards. So I'll give you a kind of quick rundown here of what this is. You got your name up here, you got a comment. This comment is basically somebody sent me a proposal right here. So somebody's trying to give me $2.50 for a card, not sure what that is. Right here, it says you have items needing your attention. So 45 items are without a price. So these just got added to my account. So these are probably cards that I've had, sent to them a while ago, and they're just now uploading them into the system. So now I have to go in and add pricing to that. Your store credit is kind of where you just keep your credit going. So if you wanted to buy a card or whatever, you can use this credit to purchase cards, and you can add more money to this at any point because you'll connect your bank account directly to the platform. So if you need to throw another $100 in there or whatever, you totally can. It's not hard. You can see right here, purchase store credit. And this is kind of your general account info. This is how many items I currently have in my inventory, how much they're valued at based on the prices that I've assigned to them. I have 257 items additionally that don't have a retail price yet, because most of the time it's because I have multiple duplicates of the same card. So I don't want to price them all right away, because if for some reason that card jumps in value and people buy the lower ones that I have on there, I can then go in and price the other ones to then go to the higher value, so I don't end up selling all of my cards of that specific card at that lower price. So it's kind of a strategy, but I do think it's smart to kind of hold back some duplicates from pricing. And that's the nice thing about COMC is they don't make you price everything. You can put things as not for sale, which means that you can price them later, which I think is really intuitive and smart. Items for sale, so again, 552 total, so 789 minus 257 is 552. Items without asking price, I got 45 right now. That just means that there's 45 items without an asking price. Items without SRP just means that there's not like a standard retail price for those items. So anyways, long story short is I have a bunch of items that don't have prices right now, and then items not for sale, 192. So anyways, items ready to ship, there's nothing right now because I'm not requesting anything to be shipped to me, which is fine because I don't need any of these cards right now. I just want to keep them in here so they'll sell. Total numbers of items I've sold so far, items I've actually purchased, and items added to the site, 848. So of course, the things I sold and everything else minus from that number. So anyways, that's kind of your breakdown real quick. Right here, you'll kind of see how much stuff is currently in queue to be processed. So approximately remaining, these are all different shipments I've sent them, and these are how many remaining cards from those shipments they still have to process. So if you look at this real quickly, there's probably another 250-ish cards or so that they still need to put into the database, and you can kind of see the details of this here. It kind of breaks down how far along they are, like their progress on it, estimated quantity, how many are still remaining from that quantity, the fees that they charge. So let's talk about the fees real quick, because they do have two fee levels. They have 50 cents per card and 35 cents per card based on the year of the card. So if it's a current year card, aka 1920 if it's a split year, or 2020 if it's a current year or a single year like football, then it's basically 35 cents per card. If it's an older card that's not of the current year, then it's 50 cents per card. So they're trying to encourage more modern cards because that is what's mostly transacted. So they really like that. So you'll see current year, and then if it doesn't say current year and it says 3 week, that means it's the older ones. So current year, that's your 2019-20 cards, and then the other one is anything before that. So we'll go back to the dashboard. Here's just kind of some of the latest sales that I've had. Some Shaquille O'Neal, some Tyler Heroes, some Justin Herberts, Zions, the kind of the usual suspects. Some purchases I made, and then over here is just a whole smorgasbord of different things that you can do based on what kind of you need to look at. So you can look at sales history, your inventory manager, where you can see all of your cards that you have in your system, change your password, all the things that you'll need to do is over here kind of in your menu. So you got your buyer menu and you got your seller menu, so depending what you're doing. So real quick, I just want to kind of go through some of these things. I think the most important thing for you guys to see is how to price items and what that looks like. So I got 45 items right now that need pricing. So this is always kind of a fun part of this process, because you get to go in and kind of look at what cards you have and then kind of see what you think you should price them for. So 45 different items in here. You'll kind of see them all. They do this great job of taking your cards and then scanning it in. So this is the actual card I sent them, and then you can see the front and the back. This is the actual card. The card has horrible centering. Jesus. Anyways, and basically you can see it here. You can make sure it's right. If there is something wrong with it, you can click wrong, and you can tell them like, oh, this isn't the parallel, or this isn't the right player's name, or whatever it may be. There's a great way, and they usually fix that like within 24 hours. So really great service there in terms of changing the listing if it is wrong for some reason. And there has been a couple times I caught them with an incorrect listing on my card. All right, so basically what you're going to do is, what I typically do is, first thing I do is I kind of look at what the price range is that other cards are listed for. So there's 21 of this same card in the system. So if you click this number right here, what you'll see is all of the different cards that are currently in there of this same card. And what this is helpful for is, well, you don't want to obviously price yourself out by having the most expensive card, because the odds are your card probably won't sell as fast as you would hope it would. And it also gives you an idea of sort of like the condition of some of the other cards. So you can see this card is pretty janky when it comes to the centering, so even worse than mine. So I would assume I can price mine higher than this card. This one doesn't look as bad, still a little bit off centered. You can kind of see it looks, other than that, it looks in pretty good shape. So this is kind of how I do it. This one's centering is actually pretty decent. Still a little bit off. So you can kind of see that you can go through and look around and kind of just get an idea of the condition and sort of how your card, kind of stacks up to the other ones. And again, you don't have to be competitive. You can keep it a higher price. It's just the odds are most people are going to buy these lower price ones first before they buy your card. So it's not really worth it. So anyways, once you're done with this section, what I typically do will go back in here, and now that I kind of know what they're pricing at, I will then go in and add a price. So whatever price you add, they add a 25-cent fee to. So you gotta just make sure that you understand that if you make it $3, it's going to be $3.25. So I will go ahead and list mine at $3.25, and that will make it $3.50 total. So you hit enter, and then you'll kind of see now it's for sale. for $350, and there you go. So it's live right away. Instantly, it goes live. There's might be a small delay, but it's pretty much instantly. If you don't want to make it for sale for some reason, like you want to price it, but you just want to kind of keep it quiet, you can click this button, not for sale, and it will just make it not for sale, so it won't even be viewable. But if you want to make it for sale, then you just click this other guy here. I don't know what this is, like a floppy disk or something. Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, it's for sale. Other things you can do, you can send it to auction. If you want it to go to eBay, you can donate it. You can, you know, I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff you could do, but really all you need to worry about is setting your price. One other nice little thing is this little bar graph here, which kind of tells you the sales history, and it's not super like in depth. You're not going to get like really great data or anything out of this. This is more or less just kind of a real basic kind of graph here, but you can kind of see the quarterly sales. It shows 4 years back, so obviously this product's only been out for, you know, I don't know how long, 6 months or so. So the last 2 quarters, you know, 6 of them sold in the first quarter, 9 of them sold in the most recent quarter, and they'll tell you kind of the range here. Raw, I don't know who the heck bought this car for $42, but you know, more power to them. And then you know, you can kind of see here up to $5.18. So it gives you a little data. It's not like extremely impressive as far as a data set, but you know, it's nice to kind of see, like, at least, you know, you can see 15 of cards have sold over the last, you know, 6 months or so. So there is some action. So anyways, you kind of see now how you price and get cards listed. So like I said, once you put the price in, it's live, it's ready to go, and it is up for sale, so people will start buying it. So I think this is a really cool tool to use to sell cards. You know, I typically will send cards that usually are a little bit lower price point. They're not going to be like your super high end, you know, $1,500 cards, you know, PSA 10s and stuff. Even though you can, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of really beautiful high-end cards on here, but me personally, I like to sell those on eBay, and I like to use COMC as a great, you know, place to kind of sell my lower to mid-range cards. So I'm not, you know, ticky-tacking $10 card sales on eBay all day long and having to truck my ass to the post office 4 times a day. So this is kind of a great place to do that. So hopefully this little tutorial gave you guys some basic information on COMC. I highly recommend checking it out and using it as a secondary you know, kind of store for your trading cards, and make sure that, you know, you get some cards on there, send them your cards. It usually will take about 3 to 4 weeks on average, is kind of what I've been noticing, to get your cards up on the site once you send it to them. But once they're up, it's super easy, and you can get a lot of great secondary sales. So hope this helped, and see you on the next one.